Hello my friends, welcome to this video in which I will show you how to fix the size of the window. This window frame has been changed recently. This window here is made out of plastic, PVC, which makes that you cannot fix them like window frames. See my video about how to improve the insulation of a window frame. So here we just changed the whole window. I didn't do it myself. But after this change, you have here this expansive foam. Basically, the operation is rather simple. We are using a cutter for cutting the foam, and then we'll be using the plaster for filling the holes and having a good junction between the window frame and what is around the window. Let's go! Before starting, let me tell you that there are two options in case the company which installed your windows removed the previous windows carefully, meaning not touching the sides here of the interior side. In this case, you can make the job with small sticks. This is by far less work, with a little reservation that in case you have some colors on the windows that you will have to paint to the same color these little sticks. You will notice here that the sticks have been placed at 90 degrees, not with a 45 cut. It's simply because it is easier with a 90 degrees and it doesn't make a big difference. Of course, in case you have more damages inside, you will have to take the plastering option, using also some elements for having a nice side inside. And that will be the subject of the video for fixing the following window. But here in this very case, we'll be using plaster, so let's have a closer look to this material. So first of all, as to the plaster, we'll be using this type here, this solution. I already mentioned it on my video about how to skim coat an exterior wall. Solutions provided in powder are by far cheaper than the ones which are already prepared. But here I'm inside, so I prefer to pay more the solution for avoiding the hassle of having the powder hanging around in the air. As to the tools, we'll be using essentially spatulas. Let's say the three most important are these ones. Let's start with this one. This here is for making the joints between bricks. It's really very convenient because it's very fine and you will see that it's very easy to place. Then I'm using the little spatula for making sure that everything is even on places which I don't have a big access. And then I'll be using this spatula you've already seen in my video about how to fill in a hole in the wall. This is good when you have larger surfaces. This one I may be using it for placing the plaster on this spatula. And of course we also be using the cutter for cutting the foam. I'm taking this opportunity for letting you know that you will be working here on a ladder. This ladder will not be very high, but you will need it for reaching the superior part of the window. So the ladder is not very high, but you'll be working with the windows open, so it can be super dangerous, especially if you're working in height. For this reason, have a look at the 6 golden rules for your safety on the ladder. Here it is a fundamental question for your safety. The principle is that here we're cutting with an angle of 45 degrees, more or less, and then we'll be filling the left space with the plaster. In case you have some difficulties for accessing the places, you can open the window, this will help. And this quality control, you can do it with a hand so that you can sense immediately if there's still some resistance. So now we have finalized the quality control, so everything is ready. And now we're just using a little sponge for cleaning the surface, for making sure that there's a good adherence of the plaster. So these are the remains of the foam for one window. But here the window had been very well placed, so there was a very few space in between the window and the wall. Always the same. The first thing to do is to place the plastic sheet. Here, typical movement I could have avoided if I had placed from the beginning the plastic sheet. Now I have to place back the ladder. We're opening the plaster. So here we start with filling in the thin part here. Let's make it easy, guys. The technique is as follows. You first start with a very fine spatula. You take directly from the pot, it works perfectly well. Rectify. We are opening the window, otherwise we'll be putting some plaster for nothing on the top of the window. So it's now on the top side. Don't expect you, unless you're a magician, to turn it upside down. You will need the bucket. Yaralandı parça parça ayağım. Yürüyorum dikenlerin üstünde yaralıyam, üstünde yaralıyam, üstünde yaralıyam, üstünde. Yürüyorum dikenlerin And we won't forget in the end to clean the plastic part of the window. And for the cleaning, it's just like dishwashing.
Non, mais continue. Et la main des gosses. Non, bah oui, c'est gentil quoi.
That's it, my friends. The plaster phase is now finished. We still have to sand it for being ready for getting painted. And that's something what we will see in the next video. So see you in a second on Happy Hour TV 1.